to welcome into our virtual stage our wonderful partners from Pajaro Valley. But before we do, I just wanted to say it's an honor to serve you in this platform. My name is Marisa Lazoneco, and I'm from San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools. I'm here with my colleague and brother from another mother, Mars.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Mars Cerna, San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools as well, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Welcome again. Please join me in putting your emotions, your celebrations, your hearts, your emojis, because we do have a wonderful, inspirational reflection and journey that our partners from Pajaro Valley will share. So without further ado, Alicia, thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing the team, and the stage is yours.
It is a pleasure to address our teams today. Thank you so much. We're from Pajaro Valley Unified School District, where we are focusing on the whole child, whole family, and whole community. I want to, this is our team, introduce our team, and I would like to welcome today these members of our team who are going to be participating in the presentation. Dr. Michelle Rodriguez is our superintendent. We're very, very fortunate to have her with us at Pbsd. We also have our wonderful principal, Jackie Medina from Starlight Elementary. She's in love with the entire presentation, and so much love that we are seeing here. Michael Berman, the Director of Equity and Federal and State Programs and Accountability. Very long title, and that's exactly what he does, a lot of work. We also have one of the most important voices that we can hear here, Bella Camargo. She's a student from one of our high schools, and we are so happy that she's able to join our team today. And we have her mother, a parent. We will also hear her parent's perspective, Rocio Camargo, who will be joining us, and very happy also to welcome one of our community partners here, Susan Brucci from ASR. And I just want to mention, this is who we are, Pbsd. We have over 19,000 students, 66% are English learners. We have, and 85% are students in poverty. We have 34 schools, and we have a budget of about $300 million. And you can see the breakdown of that budget here on the image. We're very proud that we are able to align our budget with our priorities to serve our students in the best possible manner. And now I'm going to introduce Mr. Michael Berman, who is going to talk about the next slide. Michael?
Hi, everyone. For those of you that have presented earlier today, I've really valued getting to hear from you on your problem of practice. And the one that I was just sitting in on was the Valverde one. And I got to hear Carla talk about how, though they feel family engagement is a strength in their district, we feel the same way. It's also, we know we have a lot of work to do. And as we look at the root causes and look for the whys that you know, down that path, we could have gone a few different ways with our problem of practice, but the one that we really wanted to look at was authentic engagement with families, and who are we hearing from and who are we not hearing from, and we really enjoyed doing the fishbowl activity and with our team, but also looking at all the data that we've collected through surveys and different opportunities. And we've heard a few different things. One thing was that there's too much communication coming out of all the sites in the district and all of our departments. And then there's not enough communication, or that information isn't reaching everyone, or that it's not accessible to everyone. And we really want to hear from and engage with all Pbsd community members. So we asked ourselves quite a few questions, and we kind of stuck on, okay, so who are we hearing from too much? Who says they're hearing too much from us, and what are we looking at with that? But then who are we not hearing from? So that's kind of what we went with, and that led us to, as far as you know, which of those root causes, we kind of settled on the what are our systems, and how are we going about trying to get that information, that engagement, that participation, and the input from all, truly getting it from all. And we kind of came up with a few of our obstacles. And this is really similar to what we saw with Oakland earlier. If you were in the pink room back there, with the time and the scheduling, how are we ensuring that we are having opportunities and events and moments with families at a time that is good for them. And then really, how are we maintaining trust and building trust so that everyone feels safe and comfortable in these communications? And then finally, we kind of combine access and format. How are we making sure everybody has access to all the opportunities? How are we providing the format so that we are authentically receiving information and then turning it into action? And with that, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague and parent ed specialist, Brenda Guzman.
Hello, everyone. So just to elaborate a little more on addressing our issue of timing and scheduling, we really want to acknowledge that we need to be flexible to meet the needs of our families. And so when we're looking at scheduling opportunities for family engagement, we need to look at, what time of day are we doing it? What day of the week? What time of the year? And how we're scheduling different events. So in terms of addressing that there's too much going on, are there events that are happening weekly at the district level and with departments and with school sites, and how can we successfully make sure that there's a little bit more space in between these big events so that we're not overly bombarding our families with a lot of important family engagement opportunities in order to keep them coming back to events. And in an effort, to really kind of streamline that, we've really looked at making sure that we can have consistent communication that goes out regarding different types of events, information that our community needs to have. And, just two of our examples are, we have a weekly FAQ that our superintendent sends out to families where there is information regarding the most pressing issues of the week. And we also have a weekly update that comes out of our public information office that provides families with different events going on in the community to, really kind of help us address this issue of time and scheduling. And now to further talk a little about trust, we're going to have our principal from Starlight Elementary, Jackie Medina.
Hello, good morning, everybody. As Alicia mentioned earlier, I was texting, gosh, this is a love fest. Everybody just loves their teams, and the work that everybody's doing is just so beautiful. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. But in regards to our school district building trust, we feel like we can celebrate, and we've been educating students with effective programs because we have worked on developing trust. And in this image here, you'll see the various ways that we're reaching out to families through surveys and different apps and getting feedback and input. And we think one of the keys to the trust success is that when we receive input from families, we use it. We actually take their input, we implement programs based on what they're telling us, and then we show them back like, thank you, your input was meaningful, we need that, and this is what we're doing with it. And so that has built a lot of trust in our community. And you'll see here that one of the top priorities for our families that they expressed was social, emotional, and mental health support. And so that is one of our highest priorities right now, as I'm sure many of you are focusing on that as well. But even with all the success that we feel that we have had, we know that we need to expand our reach and try to reach more families. And so we're trying to think about, there are a lot of families that are responding to our surveys and giving input and seeing the work that we're doing, but who are we not reaching and how do we reach them? And so we start exploring other ideas like going out to the farmers market, into flea markets, or thinking about our food bank distribution sites, and actually just hitting the ground and talking to people who maybe are not as engaged in the digital platforms or the surveys through digital means that we use. So that's where we're at. We feel like we got some success, but there's of course some work to do. And from that, I will pass it back to my friend and colleague, Mike.
And so we really value service. We want to be of great service to our communities and be responsive. And so one thing that we did at the start of this year was we began the CARES experience. And so all throughout the district and on our emails, there's a QR code where we're really asking, how are we doing? How are we doing serving you? In order to get that feedback in as many ways as possible to improve our systems. And we're finding that we're getting some good feedback about how we can improve our services and how we're doing well. And so this is going to be one of those things that we carry on because we so value that. And we're hoping, as Jackie was saying, like we want community members to feel like when they do say things that we respond to them. And then this is one of our many mediums to collect that information. And to hear more, I'm going to pass you on to one of our students, Bella Camargo, who will speak to high quality educational programs, which fortify our community's trust in our education system.
Hello, my name is Isabella Camargo. I am an Aptos High School senior. I've been in the Pbsd district for over 12 years. And talking on trust, one of the things that Pbsd does is offer CTE courses. These courses are tailored to our community. For example, the Latino Youth Film Institute, the Life Lab, and the Culinary Garden and Trading Kitchen. These courses make the community feel seen and understood, as agriculture is very important in our community and economy. So in offering these courses, Pbsd is setting us up for success in our community, and that makes us trust the district. I would like to introduce the next speaker, my parent, Rocio Camargo.
So I'm Rocio Camargo. I'm a school district employee, but also a parent for Bella, who you just heard from. And so one of the areas that I want to talk about is also that a problem of practice was the access and the format that we're communicating with our community and engaging with them. And so one of the things that the district has started that has been a really great thing is the parent engagement team. And together they put together a newsletter. It has updates, opportunities, resources from all different departments. And so that's a pretty neat thing. A lot of it can be accessible through our website. So that is trying to update that website as much as possible for parents to find easily. It has a calendar with upcoming events for families. And so updating that as much as possible, letting other sites and departments continue to update that so that parents have that information when they need it for internal and external resources and resources for families who speak Mixteco Bajo. We have quite a big agricultural community here. And so there are a lot of, even though most of the communication or all of the communication is always translated into Spanish, that's not always accessible for everybody. And so the district is lucky to have a few staff members who can translate for those families. The Pbsd Community Connection is the newsletter that goes out every 1 or 2 months. And that also has information from all the departments. And we talked a little bit about the calendar already. And then one of the biggest components, and that kind of ties into the Mixteco community as well, is the establishment of the Pbsd Family Engagement and Wellness Center. So that has a ton of information. Dr. Rodriguez is going to speak more about that, but I also wanted to mention that we have, there are Mixteco like office hours for the Mixteco translators to go in and have that communication available for those families when they need it at the Wellness Center. So that's pretty cool. So next, you'll hear from our superintendent, Dr. Michelle Rodriguez, who's going to go over the Family Engagement and Wellness Center.
Yeah, thanks so much. So just going back to hearing from our families, as we all probably know within our own districts, our most vulnerable families were the hardest hit from the pandemic. And so we really what we heard from our parents was 2 key things. that really helped us to develop the solution of the Family Engagement Wellness Center. One was that the hours in which school is open is not necessarily the hours in which our families can access resources. And so therefore our Family Engagement Wellness Center is open from 11 to 7 p.m. during the weekday, and then is open on Saturdays from 9 to 5. And then two, our most vulnerable families, they needed a one-stop shop. They needed a location where they could have multiple of their services supported. And so we developed the Family Engagement Wellness Center. We made the commitment that we would be open before we went off on our 3-week break. And so we did do that. We're really excited. We have wonderful partners that Susan Brucci will talk about in just a few minutes, but we really leverage those partnerships. So Second Harvest Food Bank put into right there at the Wellness Center, put in a community food co-op, and you'll see some pictures of that. It's really heartwarming to see our families come to that. They can get everything from fresh vegetables and fruits to milk, eggs, all the things and dried foods, everything that they need, as well as 2 times a month, we do food distribution from there, where they get large bundles of fresh fruits and vegetables. What I would say about that is just that the face of food insecurity has definitely changed over time. And so I'm sure everyone is noticing that, but what we're finding is the families that are coming to our food co-op at our wellness center are not necessarily the schools and the families that you would assume. And so I just have all of us really recheck our assumptions of who is the face of food insecurity. We have a Healthy Start Resource Center there with our own staff, a mental health clinician, that is housed there permanently. We're really fortunate because we have a nonprofit that is dedicated to our behavioral and mental health services, and that's Pbsd, also Salud para la Gente. This is not a new partnership, but something that I'm really excited to have at the Wellness Center. It's called Luna y Sol. So families that need legal support, rental assistance, they can be supported by the Community Action Board and Luna y Sol. We also had the Valor program through Pbsd, and we did hand out 19,000 antigen tests before school started. All the superintendents and probably everyone on the call knows that we received them literally days before school started. And we were able to leverage both the district office and our wellness center to distribute that. And so the next one, Alicia. And then we're going to continue to really support the needs of our families. And so what we're hearing from our families is laundry services is a challenge. So we have 3 bathrooms within our current facility. We're actually going to be changing one of those to be laundry services where families can come and clean their clothes. A lot of our families live within a family dwelling. So we have a lot of double and tripling up, which means that they don't have access to laundry services. They also, a lot of them don't have access to kitchens. And so some of the food co-op doesn't actually support their needs. So we're going to be working starting in the next couple of weeks to provide prepared hot meal kits for them so that they can actually have those meals and take it home, and they won't have to worry about heating up food, but have something really nourishing for their family. We are going to be into having a computer center support. So a lot of our families need computers, printers, copiers, scanners for their legal needs and for just home needs, immigration needs. And so we'll be having that and continuing to expand. So all of this wouldn't be possible without a really powerful partner ecosystem. And so I'm fortunate to be able to introduce Susan Brucci, who is the CEO of ASR and Applied Survey Research, and she's going to be speaking to our network.
Thank you very much, team. And of course, thank you very much, Dr. Rodriguez. It is an honor to get to talk about our partner ecosystem and how we all work together to support the district and its intentionality about whole child, whole family, and whole community. I just want to double back and make one statement about the community and student and family voice, how important it really is. And the second that Dr. Rodriguez walked through the door, she just privileged that way of connecting with her stakeholders. And it's really important because when the pandemic started, this ecosystem was really strong and powerful, and it had not been organized in the right way around to leverage what the district was contributing. And obviously we were so lucky that Dr. Rodriguez enlivened us in such a way at the community partnership level to make sure that we understood and were kept abreast about what the district was accomplishing and where they were working to make sure that community members and family members had a real strong role to play in terms of making sure that we were supporting each other. So this ecosystem continues to grow and develop, and it provided the foundation for one of the things that Dr. Rodriguez made sure that she let communities and families understand what was happening when she developed together, and of course adopted by the board, a contingency plan, which has guided us through so many unforeseen and unexpected realities, but provided the foundation for trust, security, and really appreciating an ability to leverage the contributions of the district. And I just wanted to call that out because yes, we had an ecosystem, but we are so much stronger and so much better united, understanding the role that we all can play. And it really came to fruition as we saw the way that the district took care of family members and the community and continues to do so. So it's a two-way street. It's with our partners externally giving and us leveraging what the partners are giving. So it's been awesome to see that. And I also just want to say that it's also infused every aspect of internal programs as well. And I will close by just saying I am a longtime community supporter, a parent, and now a grandparent of students at Pajaro Valley Unified School District. Nothing is more exciting than the wellness center that we have, provided by support with the Restorative Start. We've got several members of our team that are helping to make sure that we as a community and as the family and families and students are bound by our connection to identity, agency, belonging, and really reflecting together about how we are stronger together. That's what the district brings. That's what we've been able to integrate throughout every aspect through this partnership. And thank you very much for representing the entire ecosystem and the community partners. And we learned so much from you as well. And we are so grateful to have such a wonderful leader and a wonderful team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susan. We ran out of time, unfortunately, for questions and answers. Marisa, my biggest regret, apologies to you. I believe that right now we're going to be following a link, but if you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. I'm more than happy to respond to you.
First and foremost, join me in thanking Dr. Michelle Rodriguez, Alicia Jimenez, Susan Bruschke, and everyone in the team from Pajaro Valley. We are so grateful for your expertise, your vulnerability, and your wisdom as you have walked this journey together as a community. Truly inspiring. Thank you so much.